David Public School, Barampur. I am Amrita Jana, the innovative mind behind this project.
I am Kiri Nandini, the executive mind behind this project.
And I am Pragalbha Patil, the designer of the project.
We welcome you all to the AGM Space Challenge 2021 organized by CBSE in collaboration with Niti Aayog and ISRO. In this challenge, we have taken up the topic GIS application in pre-disaster planning and preparedness under the theme Reverent Space Geospatial Technology.
Getting into the flow of the topic. Firstly, what is disaster? Disaster is a sudden, unexpected occurrence causing huge damage to life and property. General effects of disaster include loss of life, damage and destruction to life and property, disruption to lifestyle and essential services, along with huge loss to national income. How is India vulnerable to disaster? 57% of India's land are prone to earthquakes, 12% are more likely to face floods, and 8% are vulnerable to cyclones. These are the constraints, but what is the solution? The solution is disaster management. Disaster management is not a single activity. It is a coordinated and integrated activity of planning, organizing, and expedient for prevention of danger, reduction of risk, preparedness to deal, assessing the severity or magnitude of the disaster, evacuation, rescue and relief, and lastly, rehabilitation and reconstruction. This is the disaster management cycle. It starts with preparedness, disaster event, relief, which is followed with rehabilitation, reconstruction, and mitigation. Now, over to Nandini.
Till now, we saw the drastic and dynamic effects of the disaster and how we can tackle it. Now, we'll be getting into the geospatial technology. So, what exactly is the role of geospatial technology? It helps us in better data storage and analysis. It comes handy in planning, which is very helpful for stakeholders and decision makers. Coming to the components or tools of geospatial technology, first, we have GIS, that is Geographic Information System. Next, we have remote sensing, and lastly, we have GPS, that is Global Positioning System. So, GIS is something that interconnects people with software, giving us data, proceduring it, and then lastly, giving us hardware. So, what are its functions? GIS helps in data collection and storage, followed by data manipulation and analysis, lastly helping us in displaying of data. But how are we benefited by this GIS technology? This technology has the ability to represent geographical information in 2D and 3D way. It provides the facility to integrate the different geospatial information and can effectively collect, analyze, manage, and distribute up-to-date information. The GIS-based database provides better environment for future planning. Coming to application of GIS and disaster management. This technology allows users to create interactive queries, analyze the spatial information, and present the results. It also provides effective and efficient storage with manipulation of other non-spatial data types. It also helps to create and manage associate related database and decision support system. GIS helps in emergency shelters as it provides a platform to evacuate the suffering population from prone areas. GIS also helps in distribution of relief as in affected areas during and after the disaster. The food drops are very essential. This process can be supported by the GIS technology to identify and locate specific areas with cluster of victims. Lastly, we have remote sensing and GIS tools. This helps us in mapping the frequency, character, and magnitude of events. It acts as a blueprint forming a common map basis and facilitates information gathering, organizing, and analyzing. It provides a database on previous events and has a quick information collection. Now, over to Pragalbha.
So now we will be studying the model. Here you can see the river tributary which meets the sea. So basically this is the coastal area. Here river bank is eroded. To prevent this erosion and to conserve the soil, we need to plant bushy grasses and trees as shown here. So here are the levees. Levees are very fertile and are agricultural based lands. They are formed by the deposition of the sediments. These are the low-lying areas where people do not prefer to settle because these areas are more prone to floods and cyclones. Here you can see the settlement area. Here are the beach ridges which are sensitive indicators of sea level and sediment supply. These are generally highland areas due to the deposition of sediments by sea waves. This is a settlement where people live, and in case of any disaster like cyclone, we need to transfer them to this cyclone shelter. Here is the road, but it leads to the shelter after crossing a beach ridge. So we have to construct the shortest path possible road to evacuate people quickly. So this is the proposed road. Here we can see the cyclone shelter is on the beach ridge, which reduces the risk of the danger. So thank you everyone. Now over to Amrita.
As we know that cyclones generally occur near the coastal areas. Cyclone is nothing but a low pressure area in the center and winds spirally move upward. The pre-disaster measures include cyclone track prediction, that is collection of climate data and wind and cloud pattern study along with water vapor and precipitation rate. Cyclone intensity prediction, that is atmospheric parameter, sea surface temperature and sea surface height. This should go hand in hand with cyclone forecast and warning, planning routes for evacuation and temporary shelter. Disaster. During the disaster, coastal erosion study should be done and rescue and rehabilitation of stranded people should be taken care of. Post-disaster measures include planning for protection of coastal inhabitants like fishermen and stabilization of coastline, establishment of transport, communication network and power supply. This map of India shows the cyclone hazard zone. The areas marked with blue are more likely to face cyclones. This picture represents wind vectors of Bay of Bengal cyclone. Here we see the wind pattern in arrow marks and also the eye of the cyclone. Damage assessment created for Odisha supercyclone using IRS-1C and RadarSat data. This is a satellite image taken after supercyclone of Odisha which shows the flood inundation. Generally, heavy cyclones lead to flood. What is flood? Flood is overtopping of margin of water body and spreading in the surroundings. Its pre-disaster measures include integration of data in GIS environment and forecasting of possible flood, planning for prevention of impacts of flooding, collection of historical data, current meteorological information, Earth observation satellite data for mapping of terrain parameters along with topographical survey and digital elevation model. During the disaster, mapping of flood inundation areas using satellite imagery, damage assessment and hazard zonation, relief and rescue operation. Its post-disaster measures include planning of rehabilitation of affected people, reconstruction of damaged infrastructure, strengthening of river embankments. The areas marked with orange color in this India map shows that these areas are more prone to floods. This is IRS P6 image taken by the satellite using infrared rays which penetrates through the clouds, providing us with the exact location of flood.
This is all about our topic. We have successfully introduced GIS application in pre-disaster planning and preparedness. As disasters and leaving world goes hand in hand, we should be mentally and physically prepared to tackle it in every possible way. With this, we conclude. Thank you.